Thank you, State. Defense, do you wish to make a closing argument?
I do.
You may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hold in my hand the Constitution of the United States of America. For 2.5 centuries, upon this document has been built the most powerful, the most advanced, the richest, and the freest nation in the history of mankind. Our founding fathers who created this document got many, many things right. Among the things that they got right is they created the Bill of Rights, which stand as protection for the individual against an overbearing government. Particularly in the Fifth Amendment in the Bill of Rights, which contain the 4 most important words of our American dictionary: due process of law. A person cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The essential element, the amino acid of our free democratic society. Due process of law. What does it mean? This is what it means. A judge, a courtroom, and when a man's liberty is at stake, a jury. A judge, ideally a neutral arbitrator, unaffiliated with the government or the prosecution. A courtroom, where there is no room for prejudice or passion or hatred, where there is only the search for the truth, which has nothing to do with one's race, with one's country of origin, or the thickness of one's accent. And a jury, people like yourselves, literally plucked out of your homes and your jobs and asked to put aside 3 days of your lives and bring your individual life perspectives and experiences to decide the fate of a fellow citizen. To hear the evidence without passion, without prejudice, without hatred. There is no dispute as to what happened, or when it happened, or where, or how. On January 23rd, 2018, Edward Lee Tudor died from multiple gunshot wounds at the hands of Qiu Feng. Mr. Qiu exercised his constitutional right to a jury trial and to testify in his trial to explain why it happened. Now, the state's position is that Mr. Tudor's death could not have been more premeditated. Mr. Qiu had planned it for years. Mr. Qiu testified that before the day that he shot Mr. Tudor, he had let bygones be bygones. That he was planning on moving out, putting his house up for sale, that he contacted real estate agents in an effort to do that. On the day that he shot Mr. Tudor, yes, he went to notarize his will and shop for an extra cartridge for his handgun. But what else did he do? He went to Walmart and bought 2 gallons of milk and a bag of cat food. Are these the actions of a man who's planning on going home and shooting his neighbor and committing suicide? No, they're not. Then he gets home and another episode of harassment occurs. And all the years of harassment that he endured come flooding back. causing him to lose his self-control. Excusable homicide, by accident, misfortune, and heat of passion upon sudden insufficient provocation. What do those words mean? Accident, misfortune, you're not going to be told what those words mean. Regarding heat of passion, the definition that you will be given for heat of passion will refer many times to the term reasonable person. You're not going to be told what that means. You are expected to give meaning to those terms. You are expected to get together, bringing your individual life experiences, unique personal perspectives together, and make your best efforts to reach a unanimous decision and to agree unanimously on the meaning of those words and the application of those words to the evidence that you heard. Was Mr. Tudor bullying Mr. Qiu? Mr. Qiu testified under oath. He told officers and media several times before his testimony, describing a lengthy pattern of subtle and constant harassment. Was he making it all up? Well, for what purpose would he make it all up? So that he can kill Mr. Tudor for another reason and then claim that he was being harassed? It doesn't make sense. And the state has presented no evidence to rebut Mr. Qiu's claim that Mr. Tudor was harassing and bullying him. You are left with Mr. Qiu's testimony. You are entrusted to give meaningful consideration to his testimony, without passion, without prejudice, without hatred. Our country is going through a difficult time. It seems every day there's news of another mass killing. We're more polarized and divisive than we have been in a long time. Some say we're in a crisis. If we are in a crisis, I expect we will survive it as we have survived all previous crises. But if we do survive it, it will be because of the rule of law, because of due process, because of our judges and our juries and our courts, where there is no room for prejudice or hatred, where there is only the truth. Your job, once again, is to give meaningful consideration to Mr. Qiu's testimony. That he was harassed, that he was abused, that he felt trapped, and that he was ultimately provoked into losing all self-control. And that he felt he had no other choice. On January 21st, 2018, that was Mr. Qiu's reality. That was Mr. Qiu's